What are you reading? Devastators. Is it Devastators?
Centurion Assault Squad.
Yeah. We were just looking for our Saturnine Terminators that Joe painted up for the launch of...
You can't find them anywhere.
Horus Heresy.
If you have them, please
If you've come into the studio and stolen our Saturnine Terminators, can you please let us know?
Well, it's all of the starter box set stuff that I did, isn't it?
Yeah. Joe's discovered a new passion in Centurion Devastators and Centurion Assault Squads.
Yeah.
But we both, and I think the rest of you probably categorically agree, they look dumb as shit.
Yeah.
So,
but also I'm also in the will they survive?
Well, yeah. So
edition.
Joe's idea and concept is to use the Saturnine Terminators in replacement, but I think they might be too big because I didn't realise how
same size bases.
Yeah, are they?
Yeah.
But there's okay. So you're modelling for disadvantage, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe because if it's too big, is it? I don't know. I don't know if it's modelling for advantage or disadvantage. I'm not sure. But they're certainly prettier models.
Yeah.
By a long way. Because
and I was just painting them in a Legion in a chapter colour that will get used in Horus Heresy as well. And then if they get lost to time,
we've still got the Heresy.
Yeah. And yeah.
Anyway, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us on what is a beautiful Tuesday here on the south coast of the UK. It's actually blue skies and sunshine, but as you'll notice, Joe and I are both in hoodies because it's not also that warm either. It's like Joe's ideal weather.
Although
fresh. You don't just sweat when you walk to the shop.
Driving here was awful though.
Why?
Loads of road closures.
There's been an accident. I don't know if you normally use the hour-based roundabout.
I do.
Yeah, there's been an accident there as well.
Yeah.
A coach had crashed into a car or something.
Oh.
So, the screen's gone. Oh, it's back again. Cool. Anyway, we're back with another Liam and Joe show. This is an interesting conversation, actually. I think this one sort of piggybacks off of some of the recent conversations we've been having about Space Marines, right? And this is a conversation we started to have on Tuesday. Oh, sorry, it's Thursday today. I know what I meant. I'm tired. It's been a long week. Although, a caveat, or not a caveat, aside, but relevant, less than an hour ago, I was stood in this very room having finally the handover for all the keys for the whole building.
Nice.
We now officially are allowed to start.
Officially?
As from today. So, although we did all the lease stuff last week, I didn't realise how many fucking layers to getting ready to go there is. But although we did all the lease stuff last week, literally an hour ago, the building manager, or who was formerly the building manager, because that's now my job, terrifying, the building manager turned up, handed me over all the keys. I'm slowly but surely taking on all the contacts today. So I've got all the, I'm giving all the phone numbers for the fire department that deal with the fire safety and the alarm team that deal with the burglar alarms.
Does it mean that we now know the password for the alarm system?
Well, so I'm waiting to speak to him on the phone, so I get set up as the primary account holder, and then we will have the password. Yes, finally, which will be good, wouldn't it? So it's a lot this week on this chat, and then obviously last night was a shockingly bad stream. Although I enjoyed starting to paint Tiggy, so it's kind of been a bit all over the place. But I was able to start messaging some of the tradesmen this morning and say, I'm getting the keys today. Finally, we can start planning dates in. We can actually get started. I can actually now officially start pulling up carpet and shit, and I'm allowed to do that, which is good.
Have we found someone to do our gaming tables yet?
No. No, we simply on the floor, Joe. Cheaper that way.
I don't think my back will agree.
You sit with your little cross-legged?
No.
Well, I was a kid who used to play on the floor, Pringles tubes and...
Yeah, but we don't have the bodies of children anymore.
No.
So, yeah. So, I get backache from just the concept of sitting on the floor.
Yeah.
It's awful.
So I am, I'm sorry, actually, I'm a bit all over the place this week. There's a lot going on. I'm not sad about it. I'm happy about it. I'm not whinging about it. But there is a lot going on. So happy Thursday, not happy Tuesday. I've also really hurt my arm.
Yeah?
Yeah, in the gym. I've really hurt. And I think it's...
Self-inflicted?
Only on my left arm here. I think it's like tendinitis or something.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Dweebonitis.
It's really bad. And so I have, over the last 3 to 4 weeks, gone down the route of ignore it, man up, take painkillers, crack on. And apparently that's not a great idea because it's been getting worse.
Yeah.
So I rode in today and that was painful. And I'm like, oh.
I get a bit of like RSI in my hands from painting now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like if I'm doing like it's only on like if I'm doing a lot of small detail all day, obviously like your hands like that all day, I get a bit of RSI.
Yeah. I think I'm just getting old, Joe.
Yeah.
I think we're just all getting old. I'm struggling to accept the near 39-year-old age.
Yeah. So old. Soon we'll be dead.
Soon we'll be dead, exactly. Yeah. In the gym, also known as the bathroom, injured one arm while holding his phone over. It wouldn't be my left arm though, would it? That'd be injuring.
Yeah.
And I actually... The fuck, what is that?
That's a bit of sprue just fired into the ceiling.
I actually have a gym buddy who can prove.
Yeah?
Probably, maybe.
Was he being too aggressive on you?
Anyway, today's topic, let's get into the topic. So I am super happy and chuffed that we've now finally got the keys to get started. If you're a member of the channel, you can start expecting updates, behind the scenes updates soon, because what I won't do is take video. I'll be taking videos on my phone and I'll be sticking them on the channel just as, like we did with this place.
Yeah.
Just as this is where we're at, this is what we're doing. And I don't want to put that up for the main content because it won't be pretty content and it will be literally a quick film, stick onto the computer and send, right? But if you are a member, if you want to be kept up to date with what's going on with Hobby House, then become a member. And if you are a member, you'll get some of those quite soon. And then, I'm excited about building the thing. I'm actually very excited about building the thing. So today's topic, Jay, we were talking on Tuesday. I think we were supposed to have a different topic for today, and I've changed my mind. And the reason why I've changed my mind is because we started having a conversation walking to the shop on Tuesday after the Liam and Joe show. And I stopped the conversation because I actually wanted to talk about it today. I think it's quite interesting. Warhammer 40k is, I think, mostly loved because of its narrative. Now, I think it could be argued that elements of the gaming system now are worse than other systems from the same company. So I think that Heresy has some things that are better than 40k, and I think that AOS has a lot of things that are better than 40k. But yeah, 40k continues to be the main bestseller, the big one for Games Workshop. It's the one that makes them the most money. It's the one that gains the most traction. It's the one that people want to play video games about. It's the one that people want to get into. It's the one that people listen to audiobooks about. It's huge. It's huge. And I've always sort of gone, why? And I think that one of the reasons, or the main reason, is because of the narrative and the diversity in factions. But I wonder if Games Workshop regrets the amount of diversity in factions. And I think that on the one hand, you could say, well, they won't because they make more money from selling more model ranges to more people. There's a lot of people that I know, for example, and I don't know if you guys are one of these people. I'd love to hear about it if you are. There's a lot of people that I know that go, no, I have one Chaos faction, one Xenos faction, one Imperial faction. Yeah. And they go, I have one of each. So I can have one from every kind of main grand, like 40k Grand Alliance, if you will. Yeah. But I wonder if Games Workshop regret, for example, the depth of Xenos stuff and would rather that they had perhaps Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines only, or Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines, Tyranids, or Chaos Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines, Orcs. Yeah. Because I think that if you look at like Legions Imperialis, if you look at Adeptus Titanicus, if you look at some of these things that are coming out, it's much easier as a game to balance. Oh, yeah. You have power armor versus power armor, Terminator versus Terminator.
But then what do you sell? You know? Like having...
Well, if you look at recent times, Joe, for 40k, you just keep selling Space Marines, mate.
Yeah, but if you look at... I would argue that a game system like Horus Heresy is floundering.
Do you reckon?
Because
I thought the launch went quite... I mean, I know they pissed a lot of people off with removing loads of stuff from the game, but I thought the new edition of Heresy was widely regarded as fucking brilliant. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just the echo chamber that I live in.
Yeah, like it did so bad that like people that had like 100 boxes to sell were doing them nearly like 35% off just to clear them out.
Okay, that would indicate it hasn't done well. I'll give you that much.
And obviously those releases aren't coming out thick and fast, are they? Because it's only Space Marines. The thing is, they've got AdMech, Space Marines, Guard, right, or Solar Auxilia. they have to like trickle feed it because there's not enough stuff. Because when it's only Space Marines, people are only buying one type of box set. The benefit of 40k is that the lead like chapter Legion specific stuff is more.
I'm listening, by the way. I'm just the TV's flashing. So.
It's more easy to do. We need to kind of unplug it. It does it all the time. I think the cable's fucked. Because I think it's because it's plugged in. It's because it's plugged in and disconnected all the time. It'll either be the cable or the HDMI port in the TV.
Yeah, it might be. I think it's because the cable hangs out the port.
Yeah, we need to get like a little bracket on the back that holds the cable.
Yeah.
Into place.
Do we think it's going to be smart enough to just put the chat and
the computer was doing some weird in out move?
Yeah, that's when I
unplug
stuff. And replug. It's not happy, is it today? Keep talking, Joe. I'm listening to you.
So I just don't think that they have enough releases to maintain the system, and also like. You could probably fill a full year of Space Marine releases if it was only that one army.
Yeah.
But then what do you do the year after? What do you do the year after that kind of thing? Because Horus Heresy, their big releases is 2 box sets. Maybe a Forge World character, you know? Like their newest release was the Start Collecting boxes, the army boxes, which are very, very good. I really, when Hobby House is open, I'm definitely doing a Horus Heresy Ad Mecha Force.
The starter boxes are great value, I think.
Yeah, I think they're some of the best value boxes that they do. The Guard one's especially good as well. But I think also you've got to think about variety. There's a lot of people out there who just hate Space Marines, hate power armor.
Does anybody chat? Tell me, does anybody in there hate power? Like legitimately hate power armor? I genuinely want to know this one because I don't know anybody who actually like. So I've talked about the fact that I don't want more generic Space Marine releases, and that's true. I don't want more generic Space Marine releases, and I've talked about the fact that Ultramarines didn't really need a refresh. I think they're fucking cool, and I really like them, but they didn't need a refresh. And I've talked about all these things like frequently and repeatedly. But does anybody out there actually genuinely hate Space Marines and power armor? Because I've said all that, whilst currently myself falling for the GW marketing of power armor, and I am really into Space Marines again at the moment. So, and I mean like Marines. Ultramarines and Space. I'm back interested in Ultramarine Space Wolves and Emperor's Children that I'm working on. Just really fucking like power armor right now.
Futuristic Space Knights are awesome. You know, they.
Right, this TV's having a fit, but it's on. Now, I know it currently doesn't have the screens. I can fix that in a minute. Have I fixed it?
Did it do wireless? Can you screen share?
I don't know actually.
Because sometimes when I go on my phone, on my YouTube, it's like, do you want to project to the TV?
Does it also do it when you're on the hub?
Yeah. When I'm just sat there, just jacking away.
Yeah.
Oh, I've lost my little hands. Oh no, there it is. Found it. No one panic. Oh, I didn't trim it.
If I drag that over here,
because like you go through phases, right?
I mean that's an understatement.
And they're not just like little phases; they're huge, sweeping statements of phases, where you're like, "I hate Space Marines. Power armor's stupid. I hate it." And then you're like, "I really love Eldar." And then you're like, "I really love this. I really love that." Like you're wildly inconsistent with the amount of time that you spend excited about things as well.
I think it's very atypically ADHD, but yes.
Yeah. So like I think like you're all over the spectrum. You are.
I'm not going to argue, Jay.
Right.
You're not going to offend me, mate.
And it's a nightmare. And I'm going to be honest. It's very difficult sometimes.
I mean, the thing is as well, let's be clear, you're not that much better in terms of being all over the place. It's just that you have a lot more time to sit there and actually do painting, so you get a lot more done.
I have more time in the fact that it's
I
my
want to do
job.
White Scars, and I want to do Imperial Fists, and I want to do Salamanders, and I want to do Ultramarines, but I also want to do a new Drakari army, and I want to do this. And actually now I'm thinking about it, I might want to do a Krieg army. You're just as bad.
I do want to do a Krieg army.
All right.
but I'd say about 9 times out of 10, I do often do those armies as well.
Well, I don't know. Salamanders, Imperial Fists, and White Scars have been in the works for like a year.
Well, actually, no. Imperial Fists are relatively new.
Well, you've been talking about them for longer than that.
But now the Imperial Fists are being done, right? Salamanders are a weird one. I was talking to Big Ash about Salamanders. He's going through the same emotional state that I did with my Salamanders, right? Salamanders green is a horrible colour to paint.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've never tried, so.
Yeah, it's a really horrible colour to paint because it's
That TV's going to fuck me
it
off
just
in a minute.
wants to be matte coloured. Have you got a different HDMI port you can put it in?
I've tried that a minute ago and none of them worked.
It's probably the cable then.
What I don't understand though is it worked fine all Tuesday, it worked fine all Sunday, it worked fine all Thursday.
Is it the cable in the back of the Kuta?
I've checked that and changed that already. I'm about to smash my own fucking TV in a minute.
Just turn it off and we'll just...
Well, we've got chat here in front of us. I'd just like to see that what they can see.
Well, we can kind of see it on there, can't we?
We can kind of see it.
And it's, Salamander's green wants to be very bold and bright, but the colours that Games Workshop produce end up coming across really matte coloured.
Yeah.
And it's a really difficult, because like, if you think about Dark Angels, they're really dark green, which is easier to make look more vibrant. And then you think about armies like Raptors and Guards. They're very much of an olive drab, right? Which is supposed to be quite drab, right?
The clue is in the name.
Is in the name. But the problem is that Salamanders, they start at vibrant, so there's nowhere to go up, right? They go from vibrant to like luminescent green. It's a really horrible colour to paint and make look good. And then there's secondary colours.
But it's also
black.
one of those, when you make it look good, it does look really good.
So when I do my Salamanders, I'm not going to do Salamanders.
Okay.
I'm going to do Dark Krakens. Phil McCracken.
Phil McCracken
is the chapter master. And they're a Salamander's successor chapter, and their symbol's a big kraken. What I'm going to do.
Phil.
Yeah.
Big Phil. McCracken.
Phil, yeah. Or orange. There's a really nice orange scheme. You don't see many orange Space Marines knocking about, but orange is a hard colour on Space Marines as well.
Are jump packs from Assault Intercessors the same mounting point as normal backpacks? They are, aren't they? I think they are.
Maybe. Why?
I'm just thinking out loud.
You want to do a jump captain?
I'm thinking about doing a stoic jump captain stood on his rock, but I'm also thinking about giving him a left-handed power fist. And this is where I start to really like Space Marines, right? Because you can just do cool shit with them. And I'm thinking about a power fist on his left hand, taking a right hand from a Blade Guard veteran to give him a power sword. So he's got I can then have his scabbard hanging down on his nuts, a power sword in one hand, a power fist in the other hand, just make him look stoically cool. Because the only thing I want him to have I fucking don't like bolt guns.
So I want an unnamed character on a bike.
You got your chaplain.
Outside, I want a captain on a bike.
I want a captain on a bike.
Well, and I can't remember what I was saying to you, but I was like, can you turn the telly off because it's really starting to.
Let's turn it off for a minute and see what happens.
Yeah, and I'll go to normal chat on here.
I've got normal chat.
Chat filter, all messages.
All messages.
And what was I chatting about? I really want a jump company heroes and a bike company heroes. You know,
there's an actual Ultramarine sword on here that I could put on the gun hand.
Having an actual command squad on bikes and jump packs would be awesome. Terminator command squad. They're all gone.
I do feel like there's a bit of a missed trick here as well. Like, I feel like you could have multiple kits from one kit. Like, I was talking to Paddy about this yesterday, actually, with the new Honor Guard.
Yeah.
Trying to work out how that's going to work.
Yeah.
I'm back in a sec.
He's gone. He's left. He's done with us. He'll come back one day. Maybe. I'm kind of already bored building these robots. But I want them done so I'm just all about fisting stuff at the moment. You know, double fist robots, Imperial fists, captains with fists. I really want the new jump captain. He looks awesome, but he's Hammerman from Hammerton Abbey.
I'm wondering if I brutalise Mr. the Blue Man here.
Mr. the Blue Man?
Yeah. If I use his right-handed power fist, and then use his left-handed power sword, have a fist and a sword, that could work.
That could work. There's no rules for it in the game, but that could work.
Who cares? Fuck the rules.
Oh, I see. That's how it is now. Liam cares not for the rules. The rules of men. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't care enough for this guy, to be quite honest. He's a bit meh.
Oh yeah, someone's like librarian on a bike and a jump pack. Like the good old days. But those are things I think that will come back.
Well, this is what I'm saying, right? So, excuse me. So Paddy and I were talking yesterday about the new Honor Guard. Because I was like, what do we think their squad size is? It'll be either be two to six, maybe. But they'll be like unique. I was like, I don't think they will be unique. He said, yeah, they'll be unique. I was like, I don't think that, but I genuinely think they're going to fill Ultramarines' role for head takers or for Vanguard, for example. And I said, and I don't think I think there'll be 3 to 6. I don't think there'll be 2 to 6. And he said, well, what makes you say that? He said, there'll be 2. The reason why he thinks 2 to 6 is because he said, you can build an Ancient in the box. So there'll be a separate data sheet for the Ancient, and then there'll be a data sheet for the Honor Guard. I was like, yeah, but you can also build a company champion in the box. So they're not going to go 1 to 6. So now I start looking at Ravenwing Black Knights as the example, where you can take the Black Knight Command Squad, where you get the Bannerman and the Apothecary and the Champion, or you can take normal Black Knights, which are just normal Black Knights. Yeah. And I think I want more of that.
I think that's where a bit right because so Ultramarines players already have 18 Blade Guard. If you're an Ultramarines player, you probably have 12 to 18 Blade Guard, right? You probably even have Company Heroes. So you're probably starting to reach the limit on units that you own, right? If you've been collecting since like 8th edition, you probably have all the Space Marines, if you're an Ultramarines player. So I think they go, how do we sell Ultramarines players more things? More stuff. And they go, well, if you can take 18 company heroes, so company, the Honor Guard, right? Well, how do we sell them more boxes? You take 3 command squads, kind of thing. Now we're selling them more boxes.
Exactly. This is my point. I would argue as well, and I don't like to say this out loud, but from a kind of business-ish perspective, if you're selling a box where you go, look, you can build 3 Honor Guard, but you can also build a Bannerman, an Ancient, a Champion, and I don't know, another, right? Yeah. But so because of all the options in the box, rather than charging you £37, we're going to charge you 45. Yeah. A lot of people will go, I can kind of see the value because I'm getting so many more bits for kit bashing and converting. So Games Workshop, they're selling each box for more per box as well now. Yeah. Right? And I can't imagine with the way that they stick stuff on sprues, it's that much more expensive for them to produce it. No. So I feel like that's the route they should be going. And I feel like if you went down that route, if you took things like Terminator squads and gave you options to have Terminator command squads, and if you think about the level of variety that already exists in things like the Stern Guard kits and stuff, would they run out of stuff to sell you if they were just selling you Marines? Or would they, if they scrapped Xenos?
I think,
or would they?
Well, it's like Horus Heresy, right? No one that plays Horus Heresy only has one army.
Granted, and also, maybe there's a world where they would, because I think that if I was Games Workshop, if I could almost guarantee similar strokes the same sales, I'd probably be like, I'd rather have Space Marines for the Imperium, Chaos Space Marines for Chaos, and then what I would have is a Xenos faction, which I would probably go Orcs, although I would prefer Tyranids. And then what you do is in your Space Marines Codex, you could have the odd Imperial Guard unit. You have an Imperium Codex, you have a Chaos Codex, you have the Xenos Codex, right? They sell less books, there's less releases, but within that Imperial Codex, you've still got 9 like Loyalist chapters. Yeah. And that Chaos book, you've still got 9 Heretic legions. And in the Orcs one, I'm sure they could come up with a reasonable number of Orc warbands or Tyranid high fleets or whatever. Yeah. And I think that streamlining it that way, we wouldn't be in a place where we've got armies like Grey Knights or Drakari with model ranges that haven't like really been refreshed since 2004 or whatever it is, versus Space Marines who are currently getting new like there's just this disparity. And I think you can tell from Space Marines and the amount of releases that are coming out for them that Games Workshop are going, these ones are the ones that make us money. I think a lot of the Xenos stuff are probably lined up to get some big releases in the new edition. Well, I think 11th edition is going to be a very big edition for non-Space Marines. Well, I just feel like some factions out there, for example, Tyranids, arguably shouldn't exist in the game. And I say that, right, I know you're a Tyranid player, and I actually quite like Tyranids. But again, this is where we have this weird disparity between gameplay and narrative. Yeah. Like, the Tyranids basically don't lose. Sometimes they do, but they basically don't lose. Yeah. How's your experience with them on the table, Tom Joe? They're not very good. They're just not that terrifying, are they? They're absolutely awful. I think I would argue that codex needs a reapproach, and hopefully, I hope that they're one of the earlier books in the new edition, because Tyranids need help at the moment. They're just not good. They're too. I said it before, where it's like I'd like to see some of the big bugs go away and probably get legends on the basis that a lot of the Tyranids all do a similar thing, and some of them are very good at it, some of them are very bad at it, and some of them are just flat unusable. Looking at the Toxicrene here. Looking at you, Mr. Toxicrene. The Toxicrene has got incredible rules, but is physically unusable on the table. You reckon he's that bad? If your opponent hasn't got guns, he's fine. Right? And you're using no terrain. Yeah, and you're using no terrain, so he can move around unmolested by walls, because he's of his huge wingspan. You have to have a gentleman's agreement with your opponent and be like, don't shoot my giant tentacles and I won't shoot you from my giant tentacles, is the only way around it for him. So I think I just like a streamlining of the range. Oh, YouTube's gone away. Oh, it's all right. YouTube's fine. It's not blinking anymore, which is good. No, that's just the fucking oops a daisy. We're fucking shit at our job, even though we're YouTube. Yeah, and I'm struggling with the kit bashing these together. I'm surprised you're even attempting to kit bash, to be honest. Well, I want to. I see some of the things that every time we talk about kit bashing, you're like, nah, that's too much effort. Well, so I was talking the other day about whether you could put Inceptor backpacks on Gravis Space Marines, and someone in the Thanes said, absolutely you can, yes, here's my version of it. And he'd had to fill all the gaps with green stuff, and the second I saw that green stuff, I was like, I'm not doing that. If I can just stick arms on different Marines, and with no green stuffing required, I'm okay with that level of kit bashing. Yeah. If I have to start green stuffing and gap filling and all that nonsense, I don't want to do that. Okay. And the thing is, there's people out there, have you ever seen, I think it's the guy called Anfarius on Instagram? Anfarius, yeah. Have you seen what he does with green stuff? Yeah. It's not natural. There's another guy called Val Bjorn. Yes. Who goes another step, and he just basically just sculpts everything by hand. He's like, I don't have enough pouches. I'll just sculpt some leather pouches. Right. Those people make me sick, so, you know. I feel like they have a lot of free time. Yeah,
You know?
and no wives and girlfriends.
Yeah. Or maybe they do. They just never talk to them.
Yeah, but I've noticed there's a little chip cut out top of the shoulder pad, and that annoys me.
Oh, I've done them upside down. Oh no! Where's that other leg? I put his little leg.
But now I really want to do the power fist sword combination because I think it would be cool.
Yeah.
Cooler than having a fucking gun.
Although running some practice games with captains with power fists, they're much less interesting than the power sword ones. Because this, when you got a power sword, you can just say, like he's got a shield. You can't see it, but he just gets the extra wound. Yeah, I think the thing is that Games Workshop go, the natural progression is to put more armies in a game because it's more things. There'll be like there's some people out there that only have one Space Marine army and they don't want to buy the Chaos one because there's more power armor, and they don't want to do orcs because orcs are silly. So they're like, well, how do we get more of their money? We either do a new game system or we put more stuff in our game system.
I know you've currently got a massive erection for Company Heroes, but they are gorgeous models, aren't they?
Oh, they're lovely.
They're so nice. They're so nice.
Yeah, I've got 3 units in my Imperial Fists.
No.
Yeah.
I don't believe it. I don't believe you found the unit that you like and you've put 3 of them in. I am shocked to learn that news, Joe.
They get because I think it's mainly because I get to express more conversion and stuff in them. You know, you could just do more with them.
Oh, he's a cool model.
Because Games Workshop does have a great selection of banners available.
Although I will say that the dude with the weird stumpy arm, his stumpy arm's weird.
Stumpy arm.
His little mechanical goober arm.
Here's
That's weird. They're just a random veteran with a bolt gun.
yeah, with his augmetic arm. That's cool. Having an augmetic arm is cool. He's clearly lost it being a badass.
Isn't he supposed to have a sword as well, though?
No.
Are you sure?
No. The banner, the heavy bolter, and the guy with the bolt gun all have no... They have a close combat weapon, but they don't have an actual weapon to hurt people with. They've got their fists and a dream.
That sounds strange as a choice.
They get 5 attacks each, though.
It still sounds strange as a choice. Data sheets.
5...
Company bumholes. I'm really getting into Space Marines, and I don't know why. I mean, I'm not going to complain about it. 1 ancient, 1 company champion, 2 company veterans. Close combat weapon, mastercrafted power weapon, mastercrafted heavy bolter, mastercrafted bolt rifle. Close combat weapon.
What's going
Well, that's
on?
shit. Can't you change any of it? Boom. That's not good, is it? I don't like him and his weird robotic arm. His weird robotic arm is
Just give him a different arm, then.
I'm going to have to give him a different arm. I don't know what to give him.
A hug.
Right. If you trim 40k down to Marines, it's basically 30k with Orcs on his. Yeah, well, this is what I'm saying, right? So I don't want that to be a thing. I would rather have... I mean, my favourite faction is Eldar. I don't want to lose Xenos. But what I'm asking is, Simred, do we think they'd rather have it that way? If they could make the same amount of money, do we think they'd rather have it that way? Because they could push their poster boy Space Marines even harder. I would argue the answer is probably yes. I reckon they probably would rather do that. I reckon all these extra factions with extra updates and extra interactions is probably a touch of regret there, I think.
But I think
It's my opinion.
we do live in a time now, though, of excessive consumerism.
Yeah.
Right? And people just always want more all the time. And they're like, give us cool things. And Games Workshop's always just plastic in it. The thing is that the people that have the hardest time that work at Games Workshop, I would probably say, is the rules writing team.
You reckon?
They're having the worst time because Games Workshop is going to pay designers to make new models all the time. And so those sculpts are going to have to get made and then they're going to have to go and get printed, right? That's all stuff that's going to happen regardless to what it looks like. The hardest job is the rules writing team who have to make a game out of all of this nonsense.
And it is nonsense.
Yeah, and so like And it's like the hardest thing that Games Workshop I think they've ever had to do was that probably I imagine caused a lot of dramatic arguments at Warhammer World is bringing in the rule of 3, because what you're doing then is you've put in a rule that restricts your customer base from buying more stuff. So the rule of 3 existing means that you are just naturally limiting your customers' purchases. So but you have to then go, well, do they buy 3 boxes of Blade Guard that have 6 models in, or do we split those boxes out into 3, so then they have to buy 6 boxes? If it was just Space Marines, the chances of them buying 6 more boxes on top to do another Space Marine army is relatively low. So having the variety of them of collecting an entirely different army, like Tyranids or Orcs or Necrons, then increases their chances of buying.
Do you think that's true, though?
Yeah.
Do you actually think that's true, though?
I reckon so.
Like, because I don't know the Heresy crowd that well, so what I'm about to say you have to take with a pinch of salt. But do you not think that with the Heresy crowd, I've done my Blood Angels, what's the next Legion I'm going to start? Do they do that? Does the Heresy crowd do that?
Yeah, I'd say so. I had really bad acid reflux. Ugh, 1 minute. But Horus Heresy in itself has its own limitations because there's only 18 legions.
Do the arms of Primaris Marines match in scale to the arms of Grey Knights?
Like Horus Heresy, when it started off, had its own built-in limitation that it was Space Marines versus Space Marines.
Yeah.
So people could only buy the 18 legions if they were so inclined. So the natural progression for Horus Heresy was to add another army, like demons. I think demons came first. Because they go, well, we already sell demons. You just put rules in for demons, and then you buy demons. And then they go, well, they bought the demons now. Now what do they buy? We go, cool, Solar Auxilia, and then AdMech, or AdMech, then Solar Auxilia. So, like, the natural progression is to add more things to the game system, so people actually did buy more. So I think even if Games Workshop only did Space Marines and Chaos Space Marines, they would get to a point where they just start adding other armies. Well, this is the progression of the game, right? The game started off as Space Marines versus Space Marines. Mm-hmm. And then they just added more stuff in, like every edition. They're like,
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Do we think they may have got to a point where they've regretted that? Or are they like, no, it's fine?
I reckon...
I've just reset that fucking... Oh, give up.
I think the telly is not enjoying...
That's not the telly, that's now YouTube being a twat.
Oh. YouTube's never a twat.
YouTube's always a twat lately.
Yeah. I just think adding new factions is just a business thing, right? Because one of the things I always say for our channel is like every model I paint is another reason for someone to come and watch.
Every breath you take.
Yeah. Like, because someone would say, if I add the full Imperial Fist army to the channel, someone who only likes Imperial Fists would be like, oh, I want to see how they run Imperial Fist now, you know? Or when I eventually add someone like White Scars to the channel, they'd be like, oh, how's Joe running his White Scars? How's Joe painted his White Scars? That's another reason for someone to come to us and see how it's done. I've cut the wrong fucking foot off.
Grey Knight heads are cool as shit, aren't they?
Oh, it is 40. I was right the first time. So, like, I think the feet on these things are fucking awful.
Rephrasing it, do Games Workshop have Xenos so their designers don't get bored, stagnate, and ultimately would mean Games Workshop lost their edge? Imagine if Daz Latham, etc. left because they were bored of Power Armor. I mean, that's fair. It's just something I've always wondered, and something I've always thought to myself, do they regret how much variety they've put into the game now, or if they regretted it, they wouldn't have had squats? But do they regret squats though, Edward? Is another question.
Or getting rid of them in the first place.
Just the whole arc. Like, I think that to a point now, perhaps they perhaps they're thinking to themselves up in head office, we should have just left them dead.
Yeah. Right,
especially the mess they did they on their launch.
Here's an alternate question for you, right?
Okay.
Do other game systems struggle because they only have one type of thing in it?
But do you think it struggles? So okay.
So my example is going to be bolt action.
What do you mean by struggle?
Like,
because I'll counter it with bolt action specifically. But what do you mean by struggle?
Like, so in bolt action, you have it's humans versus humans, right? And obviously the World War II setting hurts it, but because people are bored of World War II games in general, I think. There is a market for it. People still play it. I fucking love it.
I think it's quite restrictive
right?
is the problem. But
it's restrictive, but they've unrestricted themselves by having a counterpoint game system called Conflict 47, where they put in robots, werewolves, werebears, zombies, stuff like that. All your standard tropes of weird kind of horror genre stuff in it, to make it more of like a sci-fi horror game, but with a World War II twist. And you think like with the popularity of games like Company of Heroes, like Wolfenstein, Call of Duty Zombies, right? It has a market, but it doesn't. And it's just been re-released, and I want it to do well, and I'd love to play it.
What, Conflict 47 or bolt action?
Conflict 47.
So, okay, so when you talk about struggle, you're talking about specifically sales.
Yeah, so I'm like...
Okay. So talking about bolt action specifically, I think bolt action is in a similar kind of world to Horus Heresy.
Yeah.
And what I mean by this is Horus Heresy has two main issues, I think, in an attempt to appeal to a wider audience. It's got two main big stumbling blocks.
Yeah.
The first main stumbling block is the fact that it's predominantly Space Marines versus Space Marines. And of course there is Demons, Custodes, Solar Auxilia, AdMech. But primarily it's Space Marines versus Space Marines, which to some people is a bad thing. The other reason why I think it has a stumbling block is because Horus Heresy is arguably Warhammer's version of a historical war game.
Yeah.
And historical war games are a bit of a problem when certain individuals decide that they're not happy with the choice that you've made because it doesn't fit the specific narrative.
Yeah. They're like, you've got the wrong unit marking.
Yeah, you're not allowed that tank in Normandy because it wasn't there.
Yeah.
Right? And that puts people off because they are essentially gatekeepers. And I'm okay with them wanting it to be, or wanting their version of whatever their Heresy Legion is, or whatever their Bolt Action Army is, to be specifically 100% accurate to the narrative or the lore at the time. And when I say narrative lore, if we're talking about World War II, we're obviously talking about actual matter of fact.
Yeah.
However, what a lot of these people also tend to do is take it upon themselves to tell everybody else that they should also be following the same set of restrictions, which I think is where that stumbles and where that causes problems, right? Because I think when you gatekeep based on narrative, specifically in Horus Heresy, when you gatekeep based on narrative, you'll put certain people off. And there'll be certain people out there that are like, but I want lots of Saturnine Terminators in my insert faction here that wouldn't normally have them. Raven Guard, I don't know. And you're like, well, yeah, but they narrative. They were like, I don't fucking care. I want to do my hobby, and I'm allowed to do it. The rules say I'm allowed to do it. So what's the problem?
Yeah.
So in that regards, I would agree that causes a struggle because that reduces or restricts sales. And I think that there's people out there that will be huge Eldar fans who will look at 30k and be like, why would I play it? I don't want to play Power Armor versus Power Armor. I want to play my super fast pixies.
Yeah.
On the flip side, where I think they don't struggle often is in balance.
Yeah.
How well balanced is Bolt Action?
It's quite well balanced. Yeah.
How well balanced is Horus Heresy?
quite well balanced. It depends, but they've had to.
There's there's outliers and niggles.
Yeah.
But because you have a generic stat line for a human and a generic stat line for a space marine, it's actually a lot easier to kind of balance.
Yeah.
Because for the most part, it's power armor versus power armor, or humans versus humans. And I think in that regard, the game struggles less. So from a rules writer's perspective, it's arguable that less factions makes it significantly easier to create a balanced game.
Yeah.
Because you've got less variables in data. So, I think that if you had loyalists, which were predominantly Space Marines, heretics, which are predominantly Chaos Space Marines, and then, for example, orcs as the Xenos faction, you've got 3 stat lines to balance.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. If your orcs are toughness 4 and your Space Marines are all toughness 4 and your knobs are toughness 5 and your terminators are all toughness 5, it's not that hard.
Yeah, I don't think the game would be as popular then.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah.
I asked this question because it's more of a case of, do we think that they would rather it was that way around for simplistic sake? I think that certain departments probably do. Do I think that that's the way I would like it to go? And do I think it'd be better for the game overall? No, I don't think so. Because there'd be people that will be pulled in because they like Votan or they like Tyranids or they like Tau.
Yeah.
That then perhaps wouldn't be pulled into the game. But anyway, just thought it was an interesting point of discussion. Yeah. Actually, chat's been really busy, so it clearly is an interesting point of discussion.
Yeah.
If you've got, I'm skimming chat as I'm speaking as well, chat, but if you've got points you really want to make, stick them on postcards for us so we guarantee not to miss them. Colin says, Joe's history of 40k is incorrect. 40k was released in 1987 as a sci-fi version of Warhammer Fantasy Battle. 30k Horus Heresy appeared in 1988 and was Space Marine versus Space Marine, Xenos in 40k.
I thought the original version of Warhammer, the original version of the game was was almost like Mad Max.
I thought it was Rogue Trader.
The Rogue Trader came after.
Did it?
Yeah. So it was like this weird Mad Maxy game first, and then it was Rogue Trader, and then
Trader much I know.
Which was like its own kind of and then it's like Space Crusade, and then you had like Warhammer 40k, which was technically 2nd edition.
Do you think? Here's another question then. Do you think that Soups has sort of said this as well? Do you think Legions Imperialis has been significantly less successful because it's based in the Heresy era?
Yeah, I think they made a massive mistake putting it in Horus Heresy because.
But what? So this is.
But it's a historical thing, I think.
Legions Imperialis is a really interesting example because I think the company would rather put it in the Heresy era. Why? Because it's easier.
Yeah.
Because it's easier to write rules, it's easier to balance, it's easier to produce because you can sell a single box of Space Marines in Legions Imperialis to everybody who plays, right? And so that, from a company perspective, is clear. This is another reason why I ask, do they regret the number of Xenos factions? So from a company perspective, much easier to produce, much easier to sell. From a player-based perspective, I think it's done worse. I was quite interested in Legions Imperialis until I found out it was Heresy era.
Yeah.
Because I can't do my tiny little elder.
Well, that's the thing, right? Releasing an Epic game, everyone that used to play Epic was really excited because they were like, Epic's coming back. I can't wait. I loved Epic when I was a kid. This is going to be amazing. And then Games Workshop was like, yeah, but it's not really Epic because there's no orcs, there's no Eldar, and people were like, cool, I don't care. I want a small version of the army that I already play, because I can do.
Yeah.
I'd love to see
your own penis.
Orcs in it. I'd like to see Tyranids in it. I think it would just do so much better. And I think they've probably learned from Legions Imperialis.
Yeah.
That if they do release Battlefleet Gothic, it's not in Horus Heresy.
I'm desperate for Battlefleet Gothic to come back.
Yeah.
And everybody that I've ever spoken to who wants Battlefleet Gothic to come back says, do it in the 40k space.
Yeah.
Don't do it in the Heresy space.
If it comes out in Horus Heresy, I'm not interested.
I still am, because I like the idea of playing with spaceships, but I'm less interested.
Yeah. The thing that made Space Hulk so great is that there were a lot of factions. We had, in my friend group that played it, we had we had the Imperial fleets. I had Space Marine fleet. A bunch of people had Chaos fleets, And then when people started turning up with Tyranid fleets, they converted out of like spare Tyranid bits. And then there was like an Orc fleet, and then there was like a Tau fleet. And then it meant like, well, these are problems that need to be solved to beat them. The Eldar fleets were fucking horrific to play against. Someone turned up with a Necron fleet, and it was awful, and I hated it because it was just broken as shit. But then it made for fun, interesting games because the variety of the different play styles was great. Like when you kind of like randomly generate what kind of planets are on the table. If there's no sun on the map, Eldar are shit, you know. So then that meant that the Eldar players have to like kind of develop and change how they play their game.
Yeah,
you know?
I think so. But I am Battlefleet Gothic for me is a weird one because I'm a person who, if it was Heresy era, would probably still dabble. But I don't think I'd be as invested. But I'd probably still play it.
You'd play it a couple. You'd get the fleets. You'd build them. We'd play some games, and then you'd be like, "Cool, that's it," because now every game is going to be the same. Because it's just Imperial fleet versus Imperial fleet.
What's interesting when people talk about Battlefleet Gothic is every single person I know says it should be based in the 40k era. I bet they put it in the Heresy era.
Yeah.
So when they say, I bet they'll put it in the Heresy era, they're saying Games Workshop's preference is essentially to make less Xenos factions and make Space Marines versus Space Marines.
Yeah.
Same with Legions of Imperialis. This now goes back to the stream question. Are Xenos a mistake? If they did 40k again, brand new now, what do we think they would do? Would they go all the same number of Xenos factions, Imperial factions, and Chaos factions, or would they go, let's streamline it a bit? If they had and then it's never going to happen, but if they had the opportunity, because we all say now, if they bring out Battlefleet Gothic, they do it in Heresy era. And I feel like I said, the bonus they have in Heresy, a box of 20 Mark 6 Space Marines, who can they sell that to? 18 different Legions players can buy those Space Marines. 18 different factions essentially can buy that box.
Yeah.
But at the moment, if you buy a unit of head takers, who can buy those? Just Space Wolf players.
Yeah.
And that's where I think that they, if they had the chance, they might consider streamlining it, because that's what we all say. Oh, they'll just do it in the Heresy era because it's easy. I'm not saying it's the right choice. No. As we've seen, I think Legions Imperialis, and I still haven't lost all interest in it, but I have less interest in it because it is my Space Marines shoot your Space Marines.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know. Interesting. Anyway, I'm going to jump into chat, see what you guys have said about this wonderful stuff. We have to say a big shout out first, though, to an absolute fucking G in the chat, Joe, who after what's it called, Tuesday's performance, Mr. the Matt O'Reilly has come in and gifted 100 of the finest memberships.
Matt.
50 before the stream, 50 a little while ago.
You need to stop day drinking, mate.
100 of the finest memberships.
Yeah.
Chat, don't let Matt carry you.
Yeah.
Right? His memberships are bought in Australian dollars. They're worth slightly less to us. I'm joking, but I love you. But, I mean, that's factually true, but you're still an absolutely incredible human. Thank you so much, man. You're a legend.
Yeah.
So just don't stop gifting because you think Matt's done it for you, is what I'm saying, all right?
Yeah.
You're going to do a big hope for Matt, one big one for 100, or do you want to do two smaller ones for 50 each?
I'll just give one big one. Okay. I hope that... you get to... Next time you go to the cinema, you're the only person in there seeing your film, and you also get all your food and drink for free. I love going to cinema on an empty screen. It's great.
This has been weird because it doesn't show me his first 50 either. So I'm going to read out what I think is the first super chat. Someone shout at me if I've got it wrong, please. What's your first one on your list? Yeah, yours looks the same as mine. So,
Josh.
Sanders 93, thank you for 5 gifted memberships, also before the stream.
Thank you, Sanders. I hope that next time you have KFC, it's the best KFC you've ever had, and all other KFCs after that just pale in comparison.
I do like a cheeky KFC, actually, to be fair. Thank you so much, mate. You're a legend. Josh, thank you for the 100 Hong Kong dollars, the orange one.
Yeah.
New Termi stroke Calgar have me wanting to do an Ultra's first company, Strike Force Ultra. Any formations benefit Terminators that aren't shit or Imperial Fist related? Just go Gladius, question mark. Rumoured new Gullyman would be a nice bonus. Do we think New Gulliman's going to happen?
I don't think he is.
I don't think he is.
I watched a video from the 10-minute, the leakmonger, Valrak, and he says that it's fake news. And when the guy whose job is all about selling rumours says that something's fake news, it's probably fake news.
So Joe's a Terminator fan, so what I will do is I will bow to his greater knowledge on the best attachments for Terminators.
If it's Ultramarines,
I like the idea. Is it Stormlance, which is advance and charge?
yeah,
I like the idea of Terminators that don't deep strike on the table that get advance and charge. Whether
Yes.
that would work or not, I don't know.
so I think you'd need transports. So I think like 5-man units of Terminators with a character in repulsors in Stormlance is cool, because I wrote a list for Lysander which has double repulsor in it, because when someone charges you, you can get back in your repulsor,
Okay.
which is cool. And so Stormlance allows you to advance and charge and fall back and charge, which you want, really. The only benefit that I think like that Gladius has, because like there's certain aspects when you run all Terminators where Gladius is wasted. Things like Devastator Doctrine is basically wasted, and there's like some shooting strats. The only thing that you really want from Gladius is the advance and charge once per game, the fallback and charge once per game, and then the 1 CP strat that allows you to do that to units. But if you're doing a Stormlance, you just get to do that anyway, naturally. But the one thing that Gladius has is the fight on death, and that's super clutch. But yeah, Stormlance is a good shout.
Yeah, I don't know. First Company Task Force, the generic one's a bit shit, isn't it?
I keep looking at Stormlance for Black Templars.
Do you?
Yeah.
Interesting. Stormlance is quite a popular detachment, to be fair.
Yeah, because just being able to advance and charge with all the units is just super, super good. Gives you more variety.
Matt's has he done another 50? He did another 50, Jay.
Another 50.
I looked up and I was like, wait, hang on a minute, what? Yeah, he did. To the third lot 50.
Fucking hell, Matt.
What the fuck?
I hope that you get to be the first human on the planet to play Battlefield 6. There was a new trailer for that the other day. Yesterday, in fact.
The campaign?
Yeah.
Looks really good, doesn't it?
Looks so
The problem is, I think they peaked with the multiplayer campaign. Sorry, the multiplayer trailer? I know what I meant to say.
Yeah.
That multiplayer trailer with the break stuff tune is just the best.
So good.
Yeah, I think if you're going all Terminators, First Company Task Force is okay. It's not bad, and you get strats that definitely are usable because you're all Terminators.
Yeah.
I think Stormlance, because of the generic detachment, was quite nice.
The Codex version of First Company Task Force is not terrible because you get the -1 damage strat. So if you're running a lot of Assault Terminators with Thunderhammer Storm Shields, you then basically have Deathwing Knights because your 4-wound Terminators at -1 damage.
For one unit though, because it's a strat.
For one unit because it's a strat. But it has its uses.
Yeah, 100% it has its uses.
But yeah, I'd go Stormlance or Gladius. Gladius is I think is the best option because it's just more. It gives you more utility. But Stormlance is a lot more streamlined in what you actually choose to do that turn. You're like, cool, I'm advancing and charging.
I do also
the game
think
plan is simple.
Gladius also, I think, is in its element when your list is more utility.
Yeah.
So if in Gladius you have some Eradicators and some Blade Guard and some Assault Intercessors and some, I don't know, Suppressors, and I'm just throwing random Space Marine units here. But you have like a kind of rounded, balanced list. think Gladius is that's when it sings the most, to be honest with you, because it's a rounded and balanced attachment, which is the whole point, right? Because it's about being the Ultramarines attachment, arguably, and being the kind of most utilitarian. But I don't know whether I would think it's the best choice for just Terminators, but you can't argue that the tools that it does have access to, even though you won't necessarily use all of them, the tools that it does have access to would still be useful.
Yeah.
Stormlance struggles with, hey, so your whole army gets advanced charge, fallback and charge, which is great for, especially if you're looking at those new assault Terminators, that's fantastic. It's also great for Calgar and his unit and stuff like that. But the detachment stratagems, you're going to struggle a little bit with because they're mostly for bikes and
Transports.
Transports, yeah.
So, yeah, you kind of force into a situation where you have to run transports to get a lot of the usefulness out of it.
Which is hard when your Terminator units are so expensive.
Yeah. The Storm Raven has play in that, though, Stormlance.
Is it a transport?
Yeah, it's a flying transport. So
does the stratagems affect dedicated transports or just transports?
Transports.
Oh, okay, so it's not that bad then. So like a repulsor executioner counts.
Yeah. Yeah, so all transports are good in that detachment, but I think the repulsor is the best one because it has also got rules about getting back into it.
Yeah.
I think, I'd go Gladius if you want to be reliable, Stormlance if you want to have a bit of fun.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you for the orange one. Anyway, you're a legend. Thank you, Matt O'Reilly, for the orange super chat, who says, what's Peter Pan's favourite place to eat out?
Is it Wendy's?
It's right.
Is it Wendy's?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I talking about Peter Pan and Wendy's. I watched the last episode of Alien Earth last night. It's bloody brilliant. People are shitting on it, but I think it's a really good TV series.
When people shit on TV series and stuff now,
Do
you think they just expect too much? Do you think expectations just too high now?
So like I watched a lot of the because I just like a lot of the Aliens and Predators films. I'm just a big slut for them. And the directors are doing it. He was like, they're putting a lot more emphasis on it's called Alien Earth because aliens have come to Earth, from the film Alien, right? But he was like, but we've had 40 plus years of the xenomorph, right? The xenomorph isn't scary anymore because we know about its origins and we know what it does and we know how it acts and we know how it kind of behaves. So this TV series is all about, like, they've introduced different types of alien species.
Can you watch the TV series as a standalone?
Yeah.
You need to have watched the films.
You don't have to watch the films at all.
Because I've not watched any of the films.
Yeah. They're actually quite self-sufficient, the TV series. And so there's the concept is basically of the thing is that they put the minds of children in synthetics. So they're incredibly ill children that wouldn't survive, basically. So they put their minds and souls into the synthetics, but they're like adult synthetic bodies. But they're bringing in new breeds of aliens. So there's this little eyeball octopus thing that puts itself in people's heads and controls them.
Okay.
And there's these big fat flies that eat metallic material, and it's all about the concept that that actually morally in the TV show, aliens are kind of the good guys.
I'm kind of into that.
In the basis that they just do one thing. They eat and kill people.
Yeah.
They're just natural predators. Whereas the actual terrible things that exist in the universe is humanity, that old trope. But it is very good, and how corporations are all evil and stuff.
No.
Yeah.
I won't have it.
It's a really good show. I think people watching it just want a TV show of the films that already exist. And I'm kind of glad they didn't do that.
Yeah. I just think people expect a lot nowadays. And I think they just expect every fucking TV show to come out or every movie that comes out to be the next fucking multi-award winning and I'm like, it can be a good film or a good TV series without being a multi-award-winning absolute banger from day one.
Yeah.
It's possible, right? Anyway, Matt, thank you for that joke. Love you. Cray, thank you for 10 gifted memberships.
Thank you, Cray. I hope that you become an absolute god at painting glazes.
I love a bit of glazing.
I heard. It's a big dweeb for glazing.
I do like glazing, especially when I'm painting.
Yeah. Whoop. Robots. Oh, God. He's so floppy.
I've actually built a man almost.
They're not interesting to build, these robots, are they?
They're not interesting in general. I really don't like the kits. I don't like them at all. I think they're awful looking things.
If I could get away with it, I'd just use the Horus Heresy one.
Absolutely.
They're just much nicer, but they're about an inch shorter.
Makari's Wank Sock, thank you for the 1 gift of membership. Thank you, Matt, for another orange one. There are only 2 things in life I truly regret: the times I fucked up and naming my dog up.
Oh. Disgusting.
Shit jokes are my favourite, chat, by the way.
And then Ash Thompson says, pick a chapter for my Death Watch Kill Team Heavy Intercessor, please.
Before we do that, after Matt gifted 150 members and $40 in super chats, he's now just become a Thane.
A Thane?
Yeah. A new Thane, a new Inthane in the membrane.
Thane. Oh, what an absolute hero.
What a fucking G. Get yourself in the WhatsApp chat, Matt.
Yeah.
Get yourself in that WhatsApp chat, like now.
Yeah.
Now! Damn it.
Show us your tasteful nudes.
Yes.
Like,
Matt, you're an absolute fucking hero. Thank you so much. Legend. Make sure if you go into Discord, now you're a Thane, there'll be a new thread open to you, which has got a link to the WhatsApp chat. If you click on that link, it will throw you into WhatsApp if you've already got WhatsApp. I know some people in other countries don't use it so much. It's a fucking great little system. Get yourself in there. There's already other people from Upside Down Land in the WhatsApp chat as well, so you'll have people to talk to in our night time. But what a hero. Thank you so much. Pick a chapter for my Death Watch Kill Team Heavy Intercessor, please. I would say Heavy Intercessor, Jay.
well, there's only the
Iron Hands, Imperial Fists,
Iron Hands and Imperial Fists are the two.
Salamanders, maybe.
Depends on what weapon you give him. So the Heavy Intercessor in that box set can have the Infernus Heavy Bolter, which is a heavy bolter with a heavy flamer strapped on underneath.
Well, that's a Salamander.
Yeah. Or a Imperial Fist.
What about the like
And
weird...
then, or there's a frag cannon.
They've got like weird, like, second, third founding chapters, shoulder pads in there, haven't they?
Yeah.
So,
Should
like,
we have a look?
pick an obscure
take it.
one. Thanks, Ash, for the $2 anyway. You need that microphone pack, mate.
I do. I need to build these, actually.
You do need to build those, actually, don't you? Oh, I should have looked on for weapons for my captain. My captain. That would have upset Joe when he comes to build the Death Watch Kill Team in a couple of weeks' time and realises that I've pilfered 3 weapons from it.
I'd not be happy. I don't think they get a power fist in here. I'm going to get round eventually to doing my Death Watch.
When they finally release some 40k rules for them.
When they release the 40k rules for them and the actual box set, then I'll do them.
Yeah. In the meantime, Big Bad Peter Gaming, thank you for the $5. He says, I use Colourforge Salamander Green Primer for my Salamander's paint scheme. Colourforge is fucking great, by the way.
Or you can give them the big plasma incinerator as well.
And for the most part, Colourforge stuff is kind of colour matched to Games Workshop paints, and you can there's a conversion chart somewhere which will show you all the stuff you need to know. But thank you, Big Bad.
So,
for the $5.
Heavy Intercessor shoulder pads are Imperial Fist / Crimson Fist, Raven Guard, Salamanders.
So we're not going to use
Flesh
the Raven,
Tearers.
That's odd.
Dark Angels. I think the Star Skull one it's an Ultramarines one. Who are they?
That would work. Ultramarines one will work.
Yeah.
I feel like the Flesh Terriers and the other one is going to be more for like an aggressor or something.
Yeah. It's such a nice.
What's Joe building? Joe's building big, derpy robots from space.
Yeah.
Other rows known as Castellan robots for the AdMech. He's got many boxes of them because he thinks they're good now.
Yeah. I mean, I had them before they were good. I just never got around to doing them yet. It's such a good sprue. The Lamenter's shoulder pad, I reckon that's going to sell good money on the internet. Red Scorpions, much excite.
We haven't given him an answer yet.
Imperial Fist. I've moved on from you now, Ash.
Yeah, to be fair, it was only $1.99. Matt, thank you for the $10. Jesus, Matt. What's the difference between Disney and Pornhub?
I don't know.
Disney wants you to hate your stepmother.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Thank you, Nick, for the $5. I find it increasingly jarring that where Chaos Xenos talk about missing units, Astartes get to talk about it'd be nice to get an X version of Y.
Yeah.
I don't think it's jarring though. I think we've been almost preconditioned to it by now, Nick. Right? So, Space Marine players, for the most part, are so used to just being able to have a version of everything all the time.
Yeah.
Joe, I think I dread to think how many times he's got his little sandwich board and he's been marching around in the car park at Warhammer World asking for a Primaris heavy bolter heavy weapons squad. He's mad for it. He really wants it, despite the fact that Space Marines have got 7,432 data sheets, and things like Emperor's Children have got about 5. But he wants that extra heavy weapons team because I think all joking aside, when we talk about the silly numbers, we're just so preconditioned to Space Marines getting a version of everything all the time, and they kind of become the baseline and the core, that it's reasonable to ask for more stuff for Space Marines, and no one kind of really normally bats an eye at it. And then when you look at people like World Eaters and arguably Emperor's Children and Votan recently and stuff like that, you go, hang on a minute, these guys have got only just double digits of data sheets, and you're complaining you haven't got another Space Marine one.
Yeah.
But I think most of us don't really bat an eyelid at it because it's just the norm now.
But I also think what's interesting is that obviously Space Marines have the largest amount of lore out of any faction, right?
Yeah, they do.
Because they live for so long, and obviously their chapters and legions are so varied, and they have very different play styles. So, whereas other factions, other the Xenos factions, their lore is based around their kind of limited model range. So they almost have to create a new lore every time they release a kit that's different to something that's already exists, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Dropped it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm with you. I just don't find it jarring. Like I'm with you in principle. I just don't find it jarring. I find it normal.
Also,
now.
I think like Space Marines had more than any other faction in the game. They've had stuff, and they have stuff that's taken away. Right, if you look at, so we'll compare them to Necrons, right? Over time, Necrons have only lost one unit I can think of, which is Pariahs. And realistically, the Pariahs have basically had a replacement, which is Lich Guard and Praetorians. So they've always had like a near like-for-like unit replacement.
I don't know for certain, but off the top of my head, I think you're right.
Tyranids have lost the Red Terror and...
What I think is funny about Space Marines, what I think is really funny about Space Marines legitimately...
Oh, and Strikes, but they're a 4-judge unit.
...is that most people would say Space Marines have got too many data sheets, right?
Yeah.
Most people would agree with that. Most people would say that. And yet the second they try and take anything away from them, someone somewhere will whinge about it.
Well, I think also because each chapter has its own inherent like White Scars is a prime example of they're actually the ones who have suffered the most with the loss of things, right? Whereas like Ultramarines and stuff have done the best. So if you think like we used to have bike captains, bike librarians, bike chaplains, bike command squads, right? We also used to have jump captains, jump librarians, jump chaplains, and they're just gone now, right? So armies like White Scars,
but
have reduced to just like outrider squads.
But I also think that they've gone. This is an opinion. I'm sure their sales data will say otherwise. But I also think they've gone wildly the wrong way about it. And what I mean by that is, there's a number of things they could have done to streamline data sheets. One of the ways they can do it is by removing stuff.
Yeah.
But did we need a data sheet for a captain in a jump pack that's different to a data sheet for a captain on foot? There's different to a data sheet for a captain in Terminator armor. There's different for a data sheet to the captain in Gravis armor. There's different from a data sheet to captain in Phobos armor.
Yeah.
Like we didn't need 5 data sheets for a captain. What you needed, and this is a points issue, I'm aware, but I think you could have removed granular points from units if you'd have gone still, a captain is 70 points. And if you put him in Terminator armor, it's plus 20 points. And if you give him a jump pack instead, it's plus 10 points. Whatever, plus 10 points, right?
Yeah.
You know what? We're not going to charge you for his war gear. We're not going to charge you for his power fist or his storm shield or his thunder hammer. That's still the same, but depending on the armor he's in, will depend on the points cost. Then a captain is 1 data sheet.
Yeah.
That's what it should have been. And then a lieutenant can be 1 data sheet, and then a chaplain could be 1 data sheet, and it's plus 20 points for Terminator armor, and plus 10 points for jump pack, and plus 15 points if you put the fucker on a bike.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's that hard.
But I think that the other problem is that they seem to only now really be doing rules for models they sell. So that's why I found it really weird at the start of the edition when, like I was always surprised that the captain with the Thunderhammer Storm Shield was in the Codex, and I was like, well, like he must be having a model come soon, or this is just some weird kind of hangover.
Well, the thing is, they say on the one hand that you can only take what's available in the box or what's available for purchase, and then they do different 10 minutes later. And that's so common of Games Workshop. I remember the amount of times we were on meetings with them, and you were like, so let's talk Chaos Terminators.
Yeah.
You really bang that drum.
I mean, but it's true, right? There's so much inconsistency in that book, in the Chaos book alone. It's just like the loads of the characters are literally just locked to the model, the equipment they have in the box. Terminators are locked to what's in the box. Chosen are what's locked into the box, and then Legionnaires and Havocs aren't, kind of thing. And I'm like, this is very strange. It's like very odd. It's like tanks can be upgraded with stuff that's not in the box, and the Defiler has weapon options that aren't in there, and I'm just like, do it or don't do it.
I mean, it is legitimately strange.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest reasons why I think it's strange is because if you sell a captain Smash captains, right? How much money has been spent kit bashing Smash captains over the years?
Oh, insane money.
So it's almost better that you don't have a model. Because if you don't have a model, a person buys a jump captain, then has to buy another kit to get hold of the hammer that he wants, maybe another kit to get hold of the shield that he wants. It's better if you do not have a model.
Yeah, I had to convert a captain up the other day because I wanted to call Imperial Fist one. So I had to buy Fafnir Iran and a generic captain.
Yeah, I mean, so you've bought 2 models to make
what? So you've literally just to build one model.
Yeah. Further to Liam's point, Games Workshop you know how to use keywords. Give a captain Gravis armor, he then gets that keyword and can lead units with that keyword. Simple. It's really easy. Yeah. That's the other thing I don't like. The leader system, for Space Marine should be really easy. Like, Captain's got Gravis armor. He can lead anything Gravis. Done.
Yeah.
Easy. Not, he can lead heavy intercessors and aggressors and eradicators, but he can't lead inceptors. Why can't he? It's Gravis, Captain. But can attach himself to whatever he wants.
What bugs me is that, like, a apothecary can only join a unit that's got a captain or lieutenant in it. An ancient can only join a unit that's got a captain or a lieutenant in it. And a lieutenant can only join a unit that's got a captain in it, or apothecary or ancient. But no one can join a unit that's got a librarian in it. No one can join a unit that's got a chaplain in it.
Who wants to? Librarians are really boring.
But I'm like, I remember days when you could have an actual command squad, which, like, so for instance, nowadays would be company heroes with a chaplain, with a librarian, with an apothecary, with a captain and a lieutenant, all in one unit, because that's the full command of the army. You know, and what a unit that would be. What it would do.
I'd actually love that.
But I'm like, let us have that.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, we'll see. Maybe in the next edition. Who knows? I can hope.
But yeah.
Ivy, thank you for the $5. I love this point, by the way. I do love this point, and it's something that now I'm trying to get into high-level painting, failing currently, but trying. This is a thing that's most certainly absolutely pissing me off. And Ivy says, I hate modern 40k for this. The arm is attached to 0.1 millimeters of the model's back and his left middle toe, as well as the codpiece for some reason.
Yeah.
That happens a lot. And like for kit bashing, this is where I have, it's become more difficult. So I look at this Grey Knight sprue, right? And kit bashing this thing was so easy with other Space Marine kits. Don't get me wrong, the models are worse than the Company Heroes models.
Yeah.
They just are, right? I look at the Company Heroes models, and if you want to use these actual models, kit bashing them is a lot more difficult. Not impossible, but a lot more difficult. But I think there are ways in which some of it could be made a bit easier, and they just don't, and I think they do it on purpose, and that makes me sad. But, you know.
I imagine they probably do it so it's harder for people to split the box.
It just annoys me. But, you know, I'm very easily annoyed, so it might be a me issue.
But nowadays, like, I think a lot of it also stems from they're like, well, we've designed the model in CAD, and then they're like, well, how do we disassemble it? You know, and they just go like autocomplete function.
There's also a bit of how do we put it together so you see minimum like gaps and lines in the model.
Yeah, there's some models that I've built where you cannot see the mold lines. So like the last one I built that filled me with
rage,
slight orgasmic joy when I built it was Talia Vedra, the lady on the big lion.
Yeah.
Right. All of the mold lines on the lion are hidden in like the folds of like the fur and the feathers, and it's just like mwah, perfectly designed. Perfect.
It's like this Bannerman, right? The Bannerman in Company Heroes is a fucking gorgeous model, but the way in which he goes together sucks.
He doesn't have a one-piece cloak, which is just...
Well, non-one-piece cloaks annoy the shit out of me. Like the Templars ones are the worst.
Oh, over the
Literal
shoulder.
worst. Well, they come over the shoulder, but they put the little bit on the shoulder pad, and the other bit comes on separately, and you end up with this little gap. I fucking hate it, honestly. Honestly, it really annoys me. But thank you, Ivy, for making the point. I flat agree with you. Saul Rathman, thank you for the 1 gifted membership. Evan, thank you for the 1 gifted membership. Limey Panda, thank you for 5 gifted memberships.
Thank you, Limey Panda. I hope that you are given a truffle pig.
Beautiful. Limey Panda also super chats a nice orange one and says, I think there are some mid-Xenos factions, various Aldari offshoots, who should just be one book. Votan, GSC, but I think most Xenos are beloved and supported. Necrons, Tau, Orcs, Tyranids. Could say that about Imperial Chaos too. Yeah, so, but the problem, I've banged this drum loads over the last few months, right? So I think it's conceivable that you could wrap a load of things into singular books. Genes and Occults, Tyranids arguably could be a singular, larger tome. Arguably.
Yeah.
all Aldari in one book, including Drakari, arguably could be. I mean, I think the Aldari book, the Craftwars book, is pretty big anyway, but could be a larger tome. There's definitely, if you think about Agents of the Imperium, there's definitely ways in which you could probably put in Grey Knights and maybe even Custodies and what have you, and not have them. You did,
yeah.
And I agree with you in principle of how I think it should be constructed, but as I've said a billion times before, and I'll continue to bang this drum, if you allow people to have an army of Custodies, it's really unfair if then 3 editions later you go, you can't use that anymore. Look at what happened to Harlequin players.
You can still do an army of Harlequins.
You can. You have a lot less options in terms of detachments and warlord traits and relics and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if Harlequins was an experiment. I would argue that it wouldn't surprise me in the next edition to see demons starting to go into chaos books rather than having their own codex. So I think there's things you can do there to streamline it a bit.
Yeah.
And I think they should. I think that what will happen is I'll start to feel sorry for people that have only demons as an army that perhaps doesn't work anymore, or only Custodians as an army that doesn't work anymore.
They need to do with the current. So demons are a problem, I think, that Games Workshop needs to resolve, right? Because you can run mono demons, or you can ally them in, but the way you ally them in is really bad, right? If you're a generic Space Marine player, although they have taken steps to fix it with like the Bellicor detachment. But demons in the 4 God Marine books, their interaction I think is terrible. Like you could only run demons in Death Guard, World Eaters, Thousand Suns, and Emperor's Children if you run them in a really shit detachment. That's the only way you can do it. And it's not a good, and then they're mostly not good detachments. The World Eaters had the best one, and then Games Workshop's flattened it.
Old upgrade sprues are better than new ones.
Why?
So the new upgrade sprue, right? You get 6 kind of generic molded Ultramarine shoulder pads, one of which is for a sergeant because it's got a skull in it, right?
Yeah.
You get a couple of mid heads, and then you get a Primaris head with an Ultramarines logo on.
Yeah.
You get a little sword knife thing that kind of looks like he's just using a fish slice, some purity seals, and then a scanner. The scanner's cool, but not very Ultramarines. It's just a scanner, right? And that's the Primaris one. And then you've got the standard Ultramarines upgrade set here, right? You get a couple of super fucking cool heads. Granted, they're Mark 7, but that one I think I'll use for my Company Heroes champion. Look at this one. This one, Jay. This one.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. You then get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 shoulder pads as if it's for a tactical squad. They're all moulded, but they're all like a bit different.
Yeah.
Which is quite nice. You do get a front torso that you can't use anymore because Primaris, but even the right-handed sword is nicer. It's just nicer. It's just a better set. Although what you don't get is you don't get shoulder pads to use for Gravis.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Or Terminators.
But, meh. I think the old ones are better, honestly. Anyway, thank you for that $20, Dan. You're an absolute legend and I love you. Makari's Wanksock, thank you for the $5. He says, Alien Earth was brilliant. The eyeball alien was the best part.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll give it a watch.
It is good.
Okay.
It's also, in a couple of areas, they've got oh, you didn't watch Space, did you? There's a character in the TV series Spaced, Simon Pegg, where there's a character in it called Tyres, who's a bike delivery man. He's in it too, as an engineer.
Oh, sounds good. I kind of don't want to use shoulder pads on these either, because I kind of want to see what spares you're going to get in the Victrix box.
Yeah. I'm going to have
Which is another reason for giving the 5 company heroes I've already got semi-built to you, to get bash, because there's shoulder pads already on them and stuff, and I want to see how Ultramarines I can make things with this new box.
That's fair. I'm probably going to put them in white scars.
You get the one with JJ.
Oh no!
Oh no.
There goes his backpack.
Well, I've already got the champion's head you can have because I'm probably going to use this old Warhammer one here because that's fucking cool.
I think I got white scars helmet. What I need to do is get the old white scar. I've got the new ones, the Mark 6 ones, the beaky ones. What I need to do is get the old white scar ones with the plumes.
Liam, you should watch your first 8280 movies. I can't. I've tried. I can't deal with the old shitty graphics. It just triggers me. I don't know why it triggers me. It just does. Thank you, Matt O'Reilly, for $20. What did the leper say to the prostitute?
I don't know.
Keep the tip. Can you break YouTube? No, YouTube's fine now. It's fixed. The thing is, what we've done is we've gone past the point last month where we had the AgeOS fundraiser, right?
Yeah.
So the 900 gifted that happened that day have now all expired. So Matt, if you want to gift 900 in a day, you might better break YouTube again.
Yeah.
But it's highly unlikely, to be fair. So it looks like it's okay for now. And then thank you, Mad Cuz Brad, for the $5, who says, hello, gents. I have done some research on this, but I'm wondering how you guys would try to do a jade green armor. Sorry for this not being on topic. Firstly, never apologize for a super chat that's not on topic. You've paid money to super chat. Like, ask us whatever you want. You can ask us about paint schemes, different armies, and what colour pants I'm wearing. I don't mind. However, I have no idea about jade green armor, to be fair.
Hang on. I think Mr. the War Hipster has done a jade green armor recently.
Has he?
For oh, that's still on his wargamer. Come back. War Hipster.
Mr. the Whore Hipster.
Yeah, it's his birthday tomorrow.
Is it?
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Mr. War Hipster, for tomorrow.
Did you do a JD? Talk about yourselves.
Well, Matt's just tried to gift another 50 members.
Yeah.
And after I said he can't break it, it's not giving them out right now, which might mean that YouTube has put him on block, which is possible with 200 gifted in a stream.
Yeah, they might think that like you've lost the plot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, where are they? Where are you?
Where are you?
Yeah, so Mr. the War Hipster has done on his YouTube how to paint a jade Cathayan Sentinel. Fun fact, it's a giant jade statue.
Yeah.
And then he's another one called How to Paint Grand Cathay Jade Warriors. Hence the name.
Okay.
And I just do what he did. Or I would look at what he did and then be like, well, I don't like using that specific colour. I'll see if someone else does one of a similar type. What colour does he use? We'll turn the thing down.
Check out who's this you're talking about? Mr. Hipster, or a different one?
Yeah, Mr. the War Hipster. He did a really good job, actually, in the cafe.
He always does a good job. He does lovely painting. More people should follow his guides. I am not a fan of contrast paint. I can't use it. I can't get used to it. But so many people use his guides and have loads of success. So I'm waiting to see if this will push through now.
Because paints, where's it gone?
If I check my YouTube analytics for members, I think there's no way you've broke it. I think that YouTube's having a problem with the fact that you've tried to give 200 in a stream.
Dawn's, no.
Let's have a look, shall
It's
we?
used Temple Guard Blue.
Bleu. Temple Guard Bleu.
I wonder if he's using a thing over the top of that. Black Legion contrast, blah, blah, blah. Red.
In short, check out Josh's channel. Man's a legend.
Eldari Emerald. Oh no, that's the greeny bit there.
Oh no, it hasn't dropped off from the Liam and Joe AOS show yet, actually, the membership numbers.
Pterodon Turquoise. is the colour he's using. For anyone that cares, it's a lovely jade colour.
It is quite bright, isn't it?
He does the wash over the top. Yeah, Pterodon turquoise is the one.
Pterodon turquoise.
And then he edges it with Temple Guard blue.
Yeah, I have reached my daily limit. Please try again tomorrow. YouTube blocked him. Those 50 might come through, though. They might happen.
Yeah, go check out Mr. War Hipster. Pterodon turquoise and Temple Guard blue edge highlight seems to be the one. It's quite nice, actually. I like that.
There is definitely headroom for your 50 gifted to come through at the moment, I think. But you've hit your daily limit. They put you on block. YouTube's locked you down. Right.
Josh has sent me. He said, "Can we go, Joe?" He sent me a link to an Age of Sigmar doubles event at Warhammer World on Saturday the 17th and Sunday the 18th of January. Just doing personal stuff now.
Look on yourselves.
Come back.
I
don't have anything in the calendar right now, Josh, if you're watching.
I stuck 4 pieces together.
I might do.
I was actually enjoying the chat today, to be fair.
Yeah?
I'm dangerously getting into Space Marines now.
Dangerously?
In more of a way than I have before, in the sense that...
Snorting them.
Yeah, crushing them up, or more in the sense that I'm looking at, where can I get these weapons from, and where can I get these bits from? And I've not done that before. I don't just build the kit.
That's fair. I've got a bunch of Blade Guard at home. I need to take the shoulder pads off. I might, because they've got like chapter symbols on that I don't want to be on there. I might just cut the symbols off and just put transfers on.
I quite like the symbols.
I need to get the Forge World White Scars transfer sheet.
Is it nice? The problem is with the Ultramarines I've been making at home is, for the most part, I've been using Ultramarine shoulder pads, so I kind of have to carry on now.
Yeah.
Because I like uniformity. I'm an absolute slut for uniformity. Yeah. Which is why, like, this geezer, I don't know how I use him, because his shoulder pad's moulded on. I don't like that. Are you getting into Space Marines in such a way that you can play Space Marine 2 without obsessing over the way steps work yet? The way the steps work in Space Marine 2 is dog shit. However, Joe and I will probably be playing it on stream on Monday afternoon. Which I think is going to be a main channel thing rather than a badge thing, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Well, it's relevant, isn't it? It's 40k.
Yeah, true. And Ultramarines. I mean, this is a really nice model.
It is, isn't it? I don't know if I just try and trim the shoulder pad off so I can stick my own one on.
I had one of these and I painted it yellow. Although I didn't use that head.
Well, I'm thinking about maybe putting the old Mark 7 big plume on because it's cool.
Yeah. Although he's got the laurels. The cool laurels.
He does have the cool laurels. I do like a set of laurels. I like painting a set of laurels.
Yeah.
So yeah, check out Monday afternoon before the hobby show. There might be some Space Marine 2 stuff because I haven't played any of the new stuff.
Is Paddy going to get his Xbox this weekend then?
I don't know.
You better.
I don't know. No idea, mate.
Just like, he's to stop treating himself with models and treat himself with an Xbox.
He doesn't treat himself with models. I get them so that he can paint them.
Oh. No, it's like treat himself. He was like, it's going to be a treat to myself.
Yeah, he wants.
I'll just do it then.
He wants to buy the new Terminator box whenever that comes out. I know that much. Right, anyway, you people have been amazing. Thank you so much for your mad generosity, especially Matt, who's tried to gift 200 in a stream. It's given out 150 of them, so...
What are those black and orange Eldar dice? Are they new?
Which black and orange Eldar dice? They're this edition's dice. I bought them.
I've never seen those before.
Anyway, so long as the love is supported to all interested, I don't care if it takes a day, but not to focus. No, you'll be fine, mate. The thing is, Matt, it doesn't. So this is the argument I'm currently having with YouTube, and I'm not winning because YouTube are like, shut up, dickhead, you're a tiny channel, no one cares, which is arguably what I've been told. The argument I'm having is when it breaks, it's not broken. let's be clear. What's going on, according to YouTube, is it's run out of people to gift memberships to, and if it can't do it, it will then eventually refund you within normally 48 hours, right? What I'm arguing is how, when I know how many members are currently active in my figures, because it tells me how many members I have, although 95% of them are gifted, how can it be that...
How can it run out?
How can I run out of people to gift to? Like, if I had 35,000 members out of 35,000 subs, I would understand. But I don't. And I have grey names in chat with gifted turned on. So we have eligible users.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be stuck, but it's getting stuck. And I don't know why. And that's a YouTube problem, and they're refusing to accept that it's a YouTube problem, which is really stressing me out at the moment, because when we have eligible users who could receive gifteds, their argument for you've run out of eligible users to receive gifteds is obviously bollocks.
Yeah.
And then they say to you, shut up, you're only a small channel, who cares?
It is true.
Cool, fair enough. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Hopefully you've enjoyed the show, you wonderful human beings, and the chat. It's an interesting topic. I don't think we should get rid of as many factions. I think a little bit of tidying up would be nice, and I don't think Games Workshop necessarily regret Xenos, but I think if they did it all again, it would be interesting to see what they would do. I don't know if they would bring as many Xenos factions in or as many Imperium factions in.
Well, I think they dropped down to 2, and then every edition they'd reintroduce one every time.
Yeah.
Like they did. Because money.
Yeah. So, yeah, you're amazing. If you really want to throw loads and loads and loads and loads at the channel, you can also ! PayPal if the members is broken. Super chats also work.
Yeah.
You people have been incredible though. Thank you so much for your support today on the Liam and Joe show, and a good chat. As always, if after the show you feel that way inclined, if all 250 of you can just stick a comment in the comment section, it really helps. At the moment, it's actually quite helping the algorithm of the videos, and if I respond to them, it's helping it again. I'm just not great at responding right now, but there's a couple where I've responded to everyone. So you're all amazing humans.
Yeah.
Do that. That helps us out as well. The more that then pushes the video out to new people, the more new people subscribe, then we probably start to circumvent this members issue, hopefully, over time. But anyway, thank you so much. Tonight is a live game of 40k. We've got Paddy versus Tom. We've got Orcs versus Tau. It's Xenos versus Xenos.
Yeah.
It could be a bloodbath. So check that one out later tonight at 7:30. And then tomorrow we're back at 9 o'clock with After Dark, where I can drink mead and cry. I think that's everything?
Yeah.
That's everything.
If obviously if the gifted members stop working this evening, just super chat.
Yeah.
Or as Matt O'Reilly says, ! PayPal.
Yeah. Yeah, do that.
Just shower money upon us.
Just cash.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you hit PayPal, we send Joe to your house so you can tuck the money into his pants.
Yeah, I'm not coming to Australia though. I'm sorry, Matt. It's
He doesn't like spiders.
I am half Australian, but I'm never going there.
Yeah.
I'll go to New Zealand and just wave.
Will Brom know his orc rules? It's Tom, not Brom.
But no, Brom Tombadil is not here. Although it's still technically Brom Tombadil.
After we've just talked ages about all the gifted memberships, John comes in with 20 gifted memberships.
Is he going to hand it out?
No, it's broken it.
John, it's broken. It's broken. I'm sorry. Just slip the money into my pants with the golden ticket. ! PayPal 10 grand, right? We're good. Yeah.
Anyway, gifted's busted and YouTube are refusing to fix it. So, and we've got people in chat who could receive gifteds, but YouTube won't believe me, so I'm going to send them another angry email and they're going to continue to do nothing about it because they don't care at all.
Maybe they just think we're money laundering because we're so small.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Possibly. Anyway, like I said, look out for that live game tonight at 7:30. Thank you so much for watching, you wonderful human beings. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye, have a wonderful time.